Most of us cannot hold a 15-minute conversation with a 6-year-old about money because the 6-year-old has good questions and we have no answers. How does money work, Mommy? Well, the correct answer is, I have not a freaking clue, kid. I think it's something to do with the allocation of special drawing rights through the International Monetary Fund and World Bank in a free-floating system of market exchange currencies that compete through trade balances across an international spectrum of inflation-adjusted exchange rates that then can be used to create local debt that is issued by the Treasury in return for currency that is printed by the central bank, distributed to the banks that leverage it through a system of partial reserve leverage of approximately 10 to 1, and distribute it into the economy, creating either inflationary or deflationary effects, allowing us all to experience the velocity of trade through the exchange of an abstract token that represents the promise of future value depreciated by the rate of inflation and adjusted for the return on investment. So why can't we have more of it, Mommy? Why can't we just give everybody more of it? That conversation doesn't go that way. It usually goes, eat your breakfast, go to bed, clean your room. One day you'll understand. And that's the first lie, because you still don't understand. You ask the average person on the street, what gives value to money? Why does money have value? They have no idea. They have a theory. They have a fairy tale. They have a story. And that story is about as naive as believing that children come from storks that deliver them in bundles they drop through the chimney. It is about as solid as Santa Claus. What gives money value? But it says right there on the piece of paper, it says, by the full faith and credit of the Royal Bank of India. Or it says, by the full faith and credit of the Federal Reserve System. It says, one Federal Reserve note. Applies to all debt, public and private. Okay, this is what gives it value, a promise. But most people have no idea how that works. I guarantee you that if you ask the average person on the street, they will tell you that the reason the money has value is because somewhere there's a cave, a vault, a box, where the government keeps gold in direct proportion to the money that circulates, which has not been true since the 1930s, anywhere in the world. And yet, that is the Santa Claus fantasy that many people believe in. Or they believe that the government guarantees the value of money somehow, which then creates other interesting questions like, well, why does inflation happen then? Why is the currency collapsing in Zimbabwe? Did the government not try hard enough to guarantee it? That is the inconvenient truth at the core of our understanding of the world's most ancient technology, money, is that we don't understand it. We simply don't understand it. The truth is, you give money value. Why? Because you are participating in a shared hallucination with 1.5 billion other people in which you firmly believe that tomorrow this money will still have value. That if you go to the store and present one of these colored pieces of paper, someone will give you eggs, chicken, spices, water, sugar, salt, housing, healthcare, something for this colored piece of paper. And it really takes an incredible hallucination for us to believe this. Because the paper itself is worthless. It's pretty, but it's not pretty at that level. Nobody gives you products and services because of how pretty it is, right? That shared hallucination took hundreds of years to be established. And it started at some point in the late 15th century with the introduction of paper money, gold certificates, IOUs, certificates of exchange, bearer notes, etc. Pieces of paper that could be exchanged in promise for something else. And then, in the most amazing magical trick our societies have ever seen, they switch the cups around. And you lift the cup, and the ball isn't there. You go, what? This was supposed to be redeemable for an ounce of gold, a pound of silver, something. No, not anymore. It's just a piece of paper. What gives it value is your belief that tomorrow if you go to the store, you can buy something. And the moment that belief suffers a crack, it shatters.